This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life. The team has to step in quickly when Ben's meeting with alpha male Hananya goes wrong.
He's the alpha male, he's very strong, he's capable of doing a lot of damage very, very quickly, so it's an anxious time for everybody.
Orangutan Quai struggles with her ever-growing son, Quai. And as Quai grows up, the park prepares to welcome another orang into the world.
Here we've got her. Good girl. There's little swellings there. Say that she's pregnant. And they really are foolproof. 100%. She's got the swellings, she's pregnant.
Every primate living at Monkey World forms part of a strict hierarchy within their family group. This way, everyone knows their place. But when you're new to a family, it can be difficult finding out where you fit in. Hananya's troop have recently been joined by infants Ben and Pip, who moved in from the chimp nursery just over a week ago. At 6 years old, it was definitely time they joined an adult group, and the pair are settling in very well.
We've actually been really impressed with Ben and Pip. They've been brilliant. They seem to be very resilient, very, very good in the initial introductions. Ben, a little bit more wary than Pip, but I think that's to be expected. But they've got some friends in their small group now. They've been moving really well through the house, which is always a very good way to gauge how comfortable they feel in the new surroundings.
Today, Ben and Pip are about to face their biggest challenge, meeting alpha male Hananya.
It's obviously difficult to gauge the best time to put the alpha male in, but he's obviously very aware that there are new members in the house, so I think really sooner rather than later is always the way to go.
Hananya has been separated from the rest of the group and can hear Ben and Pip next door. He has no idea what's about to happen and is clearly anxious.
It's difficult to say how Hananya's going to go. We're hoping that he has matured. We obviously do everything we can to hold him back in a very positive way and keep him very relaxed prior to going in so that we have as much of a head start as possible. But obviously he's the alpha male, he's very strong, he's capable of doing a lot of damage very, very quickly, so it's an anxious time and a nervous time for everybody.
The team hopes Hananya will show his dominance without being too aggressive. As a female, he won't see Pip as a threat, so there's not much risk of attack. But for Ben, things could be a lot more dangerous.
With a young male, it's going to be difficult because obviously Hananya will have to put Ben in his place. He has to show that he's alpha male and that Ben will be right down the bottom of the ladder. So it's very different between males and females, and it's difficult to know really whether Pip will be a useful distraction or whether Hananya will feel that he has more reason to be competitive with Ben because of Pip's presence.
All chimp meetings are a tense time, but alpha male introductions are particularly stressful. Hananya enters and immediately makes his presence known. The group instantly show respect to their leader. This is the first time Ben and Pip have seen such a large male, and although they must be extremely nervous, it's vital that they behave correctly. Pip does the right thing by following Hananya and going forward to greet him. She is totally submissive. Ben does nothing to offend Hananya and stays well out of the way, allowing the alpha male to assess the situation. Then, suddenly, despite Ben's good behaviour, Hananya targets him. The team don't want to take any risks, so we immediately stop the introduction by firing harmless CO2 gas as a distraction. Although this chimp behaviour looks violent, it is natural for Hananya to display at Ben and let him know who's boss. Even though the attack was brief, chimps have very sharp teeth and can do a lot of damage. So Ben must be separated from the group to see if he's got through the ordeal unscathed. Later, Ben is in need of urgent medical attention. And Quai enjoys some quality time with her son, Kai. Unlike Ben and Pip, who were rejected by their mothers, young chimp Bart was born into Paddy's troop and has stayed there in a happy, healthy relationship with his mum, Susie. For the past 16 months, Bart has clung onto his mum for food and protection and behaved exactly as a young chimp would in the wild. Baby chimps have an extremely close relationship with their mothers and will nurse for about 5 years and stay in close contact even after weaning. Bart is Susie's second child. Her first, Eddie, was a temperamental and slightly spoilt youngster. Nobody knew how she would react to having a new baby brother around. But to everybody's surprise, she's turned out to be a caring and thoughtful big sister. And there's no mistaking the family resemblance. When Eddie was born, Monkey World staff were amazed at her oversized ears and thought them a one-off. Then, when Bart came along, they realised that the look was just in the genes. Eddie seems to be growing into her ears with age, so maybe Bart won't look so distinctive in the years to come. Bart is so content in his family group that even Dad Paddy's occasional dominance displays don't faze him, especially as he knows that Mum Susie is around to make sure he's okay. He's happy and secure in the heart of a loving family.
Yeah.
Back at Hananya's, Ben has been separated from the group after his initial clash with the alpha male.
The introduction didn't go terribly well with Hananya. Ben has got a wound on his arm. It looks pretty bad, but he is using his arm quite well. But at the moment, we just got to go in and assess.
Introductions between an alpha male and another male are always difficult, and Hananya is still fired up from the meeting.
I think we all expected Hananya certainly to display and certainly make some contact with Ben. He's the alpha male. He can be quite temperamental, Hananya, and does have quite a short patience span. So if he had thrown him around a bit, obviously that would have been preferable to actually making contact and biting Ben. We were hopeful that it would last longer and we were able to finish it on more of a positive note, but unfortunately that wasn't the case.
Boy, you like it. Go playing with those big boys. I told you about playing with the big boys before. Yes, I did. I told you about playing with big boys like that.
Jeremy hand-reared Ben, so Ben feels comfortable enough to let Jeremy inspect his wounds.
You see your arm? You see your arm? Let's have a look. Let's hold it up there. Yeah, that actually is into the muscle.
Ben's wound looks serious, but like most wild animals, chimps are very good at masking pain, as showing any sign of weakness could make them a potential target.
Actually, it's remarkable, totally remarkable after that beating that he's just had. Look at him. Well, aren't you, Ben?
Good boy, Ben.
Yeah. If you had a wound a fraction of this size, you would milk it and you would groan and you would moan, capitalising all the attention and sympathy, whereas chimps just don't do that. I mean, everything's still working. He doesn't have any tendon damage because his hands are working. The muscular damage is minimal. His muscles are all working. It's just humans are particularly soft and weak, and it really is that simple.
As a precaution, Pip has also been separated from the group and will be reunited with Ben as soon as he's taken care of. Pip and Hananya's introduction couldn't have gone better. She behaved perfectly by respecting the alpha male, and he readily accepted her.
She's got this force field around her. Haven't you? There's a force field around you, isn't there, Pippin?
Monkey World's vet, Femke, has examined Ben and is happy that they try to glue the wound together. Surprisingly, ordinary superglue is a safe and effective alternative to anaesthetic and stitches.
All right, are we ready?
But getting the glue onto Ben is going to be a challenge.
Don't stick your lips there. I don't want your face stuck to your arm. That's not a good idea. Actually, I'm the wrong person for this job because I can't do it. I can weld things, I can nail things, I can nut and bolt things, I can rivet things, but me and glue don't usually get on well together. I usually end up just sticking myself to something rather than what I'm trying to stick. That hasn't happened. Didn't hold it tight enough together. He wasn't quite ready. We'll work on him a bit longer.
When it comes to the animals, Jeremy has the patience of a saint.
You're not a bad little lad, really, are you?
And eventually has a go at sealing the wound.
See, we can fix him. We can make him as good as new. A new Ben.
But despite Jeremy's best efforts, Ben refuses to let him glue the wound, and it's clear from his behaviour that he's still in pain. Worse still, he now realises what Jeremy's trying to do and isn't happy about it.
Come back here.
But Jeremy's not going to give up just yet. The 13 orangutans at Monkey World live in 3 separate families. Over in Gordon's gang, Quai and her son, Kai, are together as usual. Kai is a typical kid who loves playing and exploring. But he also likes spending time with his mum. The orangutans at the park are part of the European Endangered Species breeding programme, and Quai and Kai have been the first mother and baby success story. She's proved to be the perfect mother and allows Kai to hang out with the others, giving him the freedom he needs to develop. But at the same time, she's there when he needs her. But not every aspect of motherhood has come naturally. When Kai was little, it took her some time to master the art of carrying him around and climbing at the same time. And now that Kai's 4 years old, he's so big that she's having to learn how to carry him all over again. And she's still not very good at it. And Kai does like his rides. Later, Jeremy has positive proof that Amy is pregnant, but quite how it happened is a mystery.
Amy is the greediest animal in the world, so not taking her pill, I don't buy that.
And Quai needs time out from toddler Kai. It's been a busy day for animal manager Jeremy as he tries to cope with the aftermath of Ben's introduction to alpha male Hana. Ben sustained a nasty wound and has refused to let Jeremy glue it back together. So Monkey World's vet is going to anaesthetise Ben and stitch it together instead.
I'll stitch it up quickly. So hopefully it can be a quick job and he'll be awake and with Pip again, happy, running about.
It's always worth having a shot at doing what you can without anaesthetising, with all the risks involved with anaesthesia. And even if it doesn't work, it's got to be worth a try. So that's what we've done now, and it didn't work, so we do think it's worth suturing this. Femke's just going to repair the wound, and then he should be back to normal.
If Ben was living in the wild, his wound would probably heal naturally. But in the heat of the African tropics, there's a high risk of infection, which could be life-threatening. Luckily, this is not something Ben needs to worry about. With Ben repaired, he'll be given a reversal to bring him around from the sedation, and then Pip will be let in to join him.
Let's put him in a recovery position a bit more.
Integrating chimps can be a long process, and the team aren't ready to give up on Hananya and Ben just yet.
We still want to try and get Ben and Pip into Hananya's group, and we certainly won't give up on that. We will need to change tactic, and obviously we'll all get together later on and talk about the best way to do it. Probably it's going to need to be in a smaller area, maybe just Ben and Hananya initially, some contact through the mesh, and some work with the keepers reinforcing any positive behaviours that we see from Hananya until we feel they're ready to actually meet again.
And Jeremy's already giving Ben some tips for the next meeting.
You're going to give him a good duffing up next time, aren't you? You just lulled him into a false sense of security, and then you're going to take him out next time. You're going to give him some of this, yeah?
Back over at the orangutan enclosure, Quai has finally got away from her toddler for a much-needed break. While Kai's off bothering some of the other inhabitants of the enclosure, his mum's decided that she's not too old for a bit of messing about too. Quai was the park's first orangutan to successfully raise a youngster. And she's a great mother. But just occasionally, she gets to show that she's got another side. Especially when she gets to hang out with her old pal, Gordon. The two have been friends for years and enjoyed each other's company long before Kai was around. Even when he was a baby, Quai and Gordon still found time to have fun together. But now Kai is growing up and old enough to keep himself amused, the old friends can spend much more quality time in one another's company. And that means plenty more wrestling. But while Quai is getting her life back, Amy's is about to be put on hold. Amy is pregnant.
Here we got it. Good girl. See here? That there. There's little swellings there. Say that she's pregnant. And they really are foolproof. 100%. She's got the swellings, she's pregnant. Apparently all primates, maybe even all mammals, have the equivalent of that, but orangutans wear it externally. So even humans have the equivalent of that, but the orangutans are the only chaps that I know of anyway, that wear it externally like that, and that is the 100% giveaway that she's pregnant, as well as being ugly.
Like several of the female orangutans at the park, Amy was on the human contraceptive pill, so her pregnancy is a bit of a surprise.
Amy is the greediest animal in the world, so not taking her pill, I don't buy that, because she'd eat her own pill and everybody else is having got the opportunity. I can only think that the human birth control pill is more specific to humans now and didn't work for Amy, I don't know. Also, we do the 3 weeks on, 1 week off, the same as what a human would do, so that they can have the natural cycle. I don't know, we learn.
Jeremy has noticed that Amy isn't just showing physical signs of pregnancy, but that her behaviour has changed too.
I always think that with anything hormonal, orangs are like a caricature of humans. Everything that you think of a human doing and everybody has a laugh about, orangs are like multiply that by 100, and they really are like just some cartoon caricature of a pregnant woman. And I mean, Amy's doing it now. She didn't like the morning, and she didn't want to speak to me this morning, didn't want to speak to anybody, in fact.
And Jeremy will have to get used to that touchy temperament, as the gestation period for orangutans is 8.5 months long. But despite all the good signs, Jeremy's concerned about the future. Sadly, Amy isn't a natural mother, and this will actually be her 4th baby. Her only surviving infant, Gordon, had to be hand-reared 10 years ago, and Jeremy doubts she'll raise her baby this time around.
I would wage my house that Amy would not rear her own baby. Her mother was exactly the same, and she had, yes, your mother. Yeah, she had 3 babies and not one did she look after. And Amy's gone down exactly the same route. In fact, Amy's worse. Amy just doesn't want to know, get this thing away from me. So we will see. I mean, if she has the baby and holds it nicely and looks like she's going to feed it, then of course we'll give it a chance.
But will Amy? Only time will tell if her mothering instincts will prevail. Next time, woolly monkey baby Paolo gets to visit his half-brother Julio.
Julio has really taken this guy under his wing.
Paddy's group invent a new sport, banana fishing. And Alison and Jeremy have their work cut out, catching a pair of capuchin monkeys from Hertfordshire.
These people are aware that they're no longer able to care for them as best they'd like. They end up with us.